running away with me. It was just my imagination running away with me. Let's run away. Need that vacation with baby today. Across the ocean, we in Central Pay. Ballin' like us, I know they can't relate. Post my IG, they gon' like but gon' hate. Fuck what they say. Stuck in the town, life just didn't go your way. I close my eyes, somewhere new every day. In a new situation. It was just my imagination. Once again, running away with me. It was just my imagination running away.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in to my show today. Welcome to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons. I am your host, Laura Simmons, and my special guest today is Miss Ursula D. Allen, aka Blue Lewis. She is an author. But before we get to her, guys, I want to start off by talking about money, guys. You know that everyone knows that I have a book out. It's called Want to Get Out of Debt Fast. So today I was going over some numbers today, and it is so interesting to know that if you save $2,740 every single day for 365 days, did you know that you could be a millionaire? Food for thought, right? All right, guys. And you also know today, this month, the month of October, is Breast Cancer Month. I don't only celebrate Breast Cancer Month. I believe in the month being cancer, period. Cancer sucks. So, as you may notice, I'm going to be in my little apparel representing my sisters that have survived this breast cancer, and for my brothers that may have survived breast cancer. I know some of you might be saying, well, brothers, yeah, men get cancer too. They get breast cancer too, just like a woman do. So I'm here supporting them, rooting for them to be strong and keep fighting. Cancer is like something really, it just touches my soul. And so I'm just going to say to you guys to keep on fighting. Keep on fighting. Cancer, what? It sucks. Yeah. All right, guys. So, also, I want to thank you all for coming on and listening to the show today. I also want to ask you all to please share, like, and comment. Okay, and ask any questions to my author today. So with no further ado, I'm going to bring to you guys Miss Ursula D. Allen, aka Blue Lewis, to the stage. Hey. Hi, how are you? You look
I'm
so
good.
pretty.
Thank you. Congratulations on your new show.
Oh, thank you. Well, should I tell people now or wait or what?
Don't tell the people nothing.
Well, I'm gonna, I can't hold water. So here you go. So start next Thursday, Ursula D. Allen will be my co-host on Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons, guys. Yay! And that's a clapping moment, y'all. But, so how you been?
I've been good.
That's good. So tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Okay. As Laura said, my name is Ursula D. Allen. I am a mom of 3. I am a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. And my newest role, the best ever, I am a first-time grandmother of a new grandbaby girl.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
Aw,
Thank you.
that is so awesome. Congratulations.
Absolutely. It's such a special role to be in too. She is really special.
Oh yeah, yes it is. Oh yeah. Wait till those little moments where she start asking, Penny, why do you do that like that? All the little questions gonna come to you. They're gonna be so hilarious. But get ready. It is exciting.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, Miss Allen, or should I say Miss Lewis, Miss Blue, we got all these personalities going on here.
So you wouldn't know. You would not.
Book. So I have here right in front of me your book. Let me tell you about these other foods. So tell the people a little bit about this book.
This book is just a compilation of short stories about different women and their experiences with different men, different relationships, I should say. So it's loosely based in real life, but it's purely fictional. But if you have been in a relationship and you read this book, you will read one of the stories that will either remind you of yourself or somebody close you know. It's a really fun book, and it's available on Amazon, so check it out.
Yes, that is so awesome. So you know I gotta ask questions, right?
Sure.
Are you ready for me?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Tell the people where you're from, Miss Ursula.
I am from the ATL, Georgia. I'm a Grady baby. Woo, 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 woo.
She coming all the way from the A-Town, Chi-Town. All the way from the A-Town to talk today. How long have you been writing? Tell the people about that.
I've been writing as long as I had the physical ability to write. You know, when I was younger and I learned to use crayons, I was writing stories with my crayons. And before that, I was telling stories. I've always loved the art of storytelling.
Okay. Oh wow, that's cool. You sound like me. That was me. I love the storytelling, the art of telling the story. Mm-hmm. That is so awesome. So, what else did I ask you? What inspired you to write?
You know, just like I say, my love for telling a good story. You know, my family, and I'm not sure about, I can't talk about Northern tradition, I know, but I'm from the South. And in the South, that's what people do, you know. A lot of people in the South are very, very family oriented. And we would, when I was younger, we would all get together, you know, every weekend. And my grandmother, my aunties, they would sit us down, and I mean everybody, and they would tell us these stories, and I just fell in love. But I had a natural, of course, love for it, but that just kind of pulled me in more to, you know, to be able to think that I could actually do it and somebody would care about it. You know.
Yeah, I actually used to love those stories too. I remember when it would be summertime and my mom would, we'd be sitting in the dark and the fan is on, and my mom telling us stories about things that happened when she was younger. Yeah, that is so exciting. That is so
and
exciting.
You remember, I know when I was smaller and it would thunder and lightning, Oh, I'm sorry, I'm at my mom's house. My phone is ringing. But when I was younger and it would storm, my grandmother would sit us down like, everybody be quiet, no talking, no moving, and tell us stories. She's like, God doing his work. She'd tell us Bible stories and, stuff about when they were young. That was always something to remember.
Wow, yeah, remember they used to say, you can't watch TV when it's storming, you can't cut the lights off when it's storming and lightning. That's God right. Doing his work. And I remember those days. It was good time. It was good though because it was good bonding time with your family.
Absolutely.
And it helps you. It helped out a lot. It helped out with a lot of situations that we deal with today.
Yeah, and I think
that's happy with your career as an author. Yeah, it is. Of course it is.
You said, am I happy with my career?
Happy with your career as an author?
I'm happy because it's okay. God is giving me this opportunity. So yes, I'm happy that God gives me the gift and the opportunity to be able to write, to tell stories. Now, do I pray and do I hope to go further in my career? Absolutely. And I'll be even happier when I am where I want to be with my writing. But it's all about perspective. When I was younger and I wanted to write, and I was just like, oh God, I want to be like, this person, I want to be like that person. And I was like, oh, I'm not there. So, I'm kind of down about it. But I learned as I got older, it's all about perspective. And you looking at the fact that you're actually doing what you dreamed of doing. It may not be in the level or the realm that you thought about it or that you're going to reach, but you're doing it. And it's certainly a blessing.
Yeah, that is so true. What are some of your interests outside of writing?
Outside of writing, besides family, I got a new hobby. I do balloon art. I do event planning. I'm a creator of all things. I love to paint. I like to pretty much make anything. Just don't tell me to make a meal. I don't want to cook.
You're hilarious. Now I love to cook.
I know.
That's
something
I love to do. I love to cook.
I know.
I get in the kitchen in a minute and start putting that little seasoning.
Then you have a nerve to be on the camera talking about this the fried chicken crunch, and I'm like, I'm hungry. Get off the camera.
So, what is the most difficult part of your writing process? What would you say is the most difficult part?
The most difficult part, and this is so crazy, of my writing process is being able to slow my mind down. And what I mean is, I already have this story. It's rolling in my head like a film, and I wanna hurry up and get it out while that momentum is there. So it's like, I'm like, no, come on, write faster. But that's my issue.
Have you ever thought about so one thing that I learned to do is I started riding around with like a little recorder. So like when I get ideas, I just start recording my ideas. I start sending it to the recorder, so this way I can later come back and I can write it out and put it into words.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about doing that?
Yeah, I've always done that, but I don't carry the recorder. I just use my phone, so I have no memory in my phone between my grandbaby and my ideas. I have no memory at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that helped because it's not using the phone. It's a small recorder. And that way you can keep it in the car. You just put it in your glove compartment. Every time when you get a thought, you just pull it down and you just start recording what your thoughts are. Because what I found was that early in the morning, that's when my mind just started working. It just started going and it goes and goes and goes. And then I can't stop it. And I can't, if I'm driving, you can't write it down. So I just started keeping a recorder in my car. So
that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah. What advice would you give a writer working on their first book?
Best advice I can give is to don't stop. Just no matter what, despite physical illness or whatever, just don't stop. Believe in yourself, believe that you can do things that you can't see, and to stay focused. And I just thought about this. One of the biggest piece of advice that I would give to a new writer is to get yourself a team, a support group. It is very, very, very important, and you have to get people who you can rely on, because even though you are the talent, true enough, you need people who can help you with administrative work. You need people who can help you with organization, so having a good support team is really important.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because it takes a lot off of you when you have a team. It takes a lot of the stress and pressure off of you. So I totally agree with you on that one. Yeah. What to you are the most important elements of good writing?
Oh, wow. To me, if we're talking about a book, the most important elements are description, because that description is going to pull you in that book, and you can start. And I always laugh at myself, because when I used to read a lot, I don't get to read like I used to, but when I used to read a lot, I would form pictures of characters, and it would be interesting. I would think about how interesting it would be to see what the real person who they was, portraying the character from would look like. But that description is very, very, very important to just help you to understand where the writer is coming from. And when you're talking about a movie, and I don't know per se yet about script writing, but writers, the screenwriters, when you watch a good film, to me, the key to a good film is forgetting that you're watching a film. It's almost like when you watch a good film that is written well, it's almost like you're being placed in somebody's life, just kind of watching what's going on with their life,
Yeah. I think I was telling you about some show that I just recently I watched. I was just recently watching La Film Nikita. Remember, I was telling you that show to me was very well written. And the actors in that show had you believing that it was for real, because they gelled so well. And that's the key to when you write a book or you write a story and you got people, and you decide you want to turn it into a screenplay or a stage play or whatever, the key is getting the right people to bring your dream to life. And you're absolutely right. You don't want it where it seemed like they reading a script. You want it where just like that show I was just telling you about. It seemed so real that movie stayed in my head so much that it because it just seemed so real, and because they played their part so well, you know. And this was the original one. They came out later, some years later. Their show was like from 1997 to 2006, I think. And then they went off the air, and then somebody else tried to redo it, but it was not the same. It wasn't the same. So it's important to get the key people to play the parts in your story that you write. You know, so that's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading your bio too, and I was noticing that you were saying in 2002, that was like the worst year for you. You had like a hard time during that year of 2002. So you folks start focusing on your writing and stuff more because that was your way of getting, helping you get through what you was dealing with, right? Is that, saying that right? Is that?
Yeah, basically you're saying it right. So what it was is that I've always been able to write. I've always enjoyed writing, but there was a gap of time in my life where I didn't focus on writing, if you know what I mean. It was just something that I know that I could do. That I enjoyed doing. And I help people with research papers and stuff like that, you know. I wrote here and there. So when I lost my dad, that's the emotional time I was going through. I lost my father in August 2002, a day before his birthday. And his birthday is the day before my birthday. So in a matter of a 3-day period, I lost my dad. His death date was the same day as my mother and father's anniversary. Then the next day was his birthday. Then the next day is my birthday. So that was a really, really hard time for me. So it happened, I went through, I had a little crisis. It was just emotionally, I had to find my way back. I mean, I know I could say for sure if it wasn't for God, I would have never found my way back. But what God did during that period of time is that he brought me back to my writing. So what I was doing, I've always journaled. So what happened, I started writing about what I was feeling about my dad. I wrote about the last day I saw my dad. I wrote about all the things that happened on that day, what he said to me, and I just wrote about that for a minute. So after that, I started to just write, to come up with a story. And I started writing, and I would notice that every time I was writing, I was feeling better. I was getting some type of relief. So I was writing so much, and one day I looked up and I had these, I used to write in the spiral notebooks. And I looked up and I had about 10, 15 spiral notebooks just kind of scattered everywhere where I had been writing. So I kind of looked, and I know you've had this experience where you you look back at something and that you've written and it's like good, and you like, I wrote that. So I was like, okay, and I just kind of started writing, more organized or whatever. And I was like, okay, this is something that I really can do, that I really do love. Yeah, but that was just the kind of the thing that started it. That was kind of the catalyst.
Yeah, I do get that part. I've experienced the same thing basically, and that is like the hardest thing. That was the hardest time of my life, and my therapy was writing. Exactly the same thing you said. People don't realize just how writing is a really good therapy, because you get to write out what you're feeling. Boxing is another one that's a good therapy. Running is a good therapy. So, when you're going through all these emotional roller coasters and stuff, sometimes it's good to just write it out. Write what you're feeling. It don't have to be for a book, but you could just write it out just for therapy, And yeah, man,
not only that,
I feel your pain when you say that, because
But I was gonna say, not only that, writing is like when you putting something on paper, it's almost like bringing it to life, almost. And you know what I mean? In a way, it's like when you put it on paper, it's like you creating a life to that thing. You know what I mean? And so it's like, that's why I encourage people also to journal, so that they can keep some of the most precious memories they have alive, and also to write some of their aspirations out on paper, like the Bible talks about us writing the vision out. It really makes a difference when we actually put that thing on paper, than when you just dreaming it or whatever. Then when you start to actually put it on paper and get organized and serious with it.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like a spiritual journey as well. When you write, and it's a spiritual journey. What's your favorite part of publishing? I didn't like any of publishing. No, I'm just joking.
I was gonna say, who are you talking to?
What is your favorite part? I know that.
I don't like none of it. Right, I didn't like none of it.
Yeah, I did. I think the best part of publishing was when it was done.
That's it. That is it.
When it was done.
When you got that book in your hand, that's the favorite part.
Yes, it was. That was the best part for me.
Yep.
And your book is available right now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's available on
Amazon.
What did you say? Where is it available at?
On Amazon.
Amazon?
Yes, ma'am.
And if they want to purchase it personally, where they want an autographed copy, they can get it through you, right? Is there a way they can get it through you?
I mean, there is a way to get it through me, but I'm trying to come up with something a little bit better, so I can offer, because I know, it's hard to trust people. So I'm trying to come up with something a little bit safer that I can offer, or autograph copies. I don't want people to think that they're going to cash out me, and I'm like, April Fools. So I want to do something that's a little bit more safe for the buyer and the seller,
Safer. Yeah, I get it. Yes, indeed. Because you know what? There's so much stuff going on nowadays. You have to be extremely careful. And because people just ain't right. They ain't doing right.
I know.
He ain't right. They ain't right. Remember that movie? What movie is that from? He ain't right.
What movie is that?
It was from what was, I forgot what movie it was.
How you gonna quiz?
It ain't right. It ain't right. so people can. You're saying that people can purchase your book on Amazon though for now until until you get your website straightened out, right?
For now, that's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, is it anything you want to tell the people? I mean, any questions or anything you want to tell them more about Miss Blue? Where did the name Blue Lewis come from?
Blue Lewis came from Blue is my tribute to God. It is, I appreciate God for so much. And when I was thinking about a way to give him, a tribute in my writing, I thought about the sky, which is like a daily reminder to us that God is real. God is ever present. And so, I think about the blue sky. And so I came up with Blue. And then the Lewis was a tribute to my parents. And my dad's middle name is Lewis. My mom's maiden name was Lewis. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I got Blue Lewis.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. Yeah. Yeah, people don't know about that little character that you got with Blue Lewis.
Hush up.
Yeah, Blue Lewis ain't nothing nice, y'all. That's all I can say. She ain't nothing nice. She ain't all there either. And that Grandma Lala get together, boy. It's something else.
You are crazy.
I remember that holiday. It was what was it? Halloween. I think it was Halloween.
Oh my
where
God.
I seen her. Somebody asked, could you tell us a little bit about the character Blue Lewis?
Why? No, see, in all actuality, Laura has a play based on her book, Little Sisters Listen Up. And one of the characters is Blue Lewis. She is one of the older women who was like one of the cornerstones of the community. So, when we messing around, we get to cutting up. That's all. Just a feisty, supposed to be wise old lady.
Yeah, she's spicy too. She don't play. Her and Grandma Lala get together. Oh boy, it's on and popping.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I was listening. I was watching one of those little where they talk about celebrities and stuff. So I was listening to 50 Cent. He was saying that his grandfather said that when he was younger, his grandfather used to give his grandmother his whole check every time he get paid. Mm-hmm. And so Grandma Lala had to have something to say about that, right? You know that, right? So what did Miss Blue Lewis think about that?
Hey, I say she got a train ride, baby. She got a train ride.
See, you guys, y'all can catch her doing her Blue Lewis. She also do balloons. The balloons are so beautiful. If you go to her Facebook page, I think you have them posted on your Facebook page, right? The balloons that you do, right?
I do, and I have an Instagram page. It's called Indigo Innovations on Instagram, and I have some examples. And I'm just starting, so I don't have a whole lot of pictures, but I'm gonna also be doing some balloon Christmas trees coming up. It's gonna be real fun, and I'll be posting those or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And so you guys can also follow her on her Facebook page, which is tell them your Facebook page is Ursula D. Allen.
Ursula D. Allen. It's Ursula D. Allen. It has like
Okay.
parentheses Blue Lewis, but it's
The
Ursula
blue
D.
heart or
Allen.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And on Instagram, tell them where they can find you at on Instagram.
Instagram, I'm blue_Lewis69. And 69 is my birth year, so don't y'all get no funny ideas here.
See, only you was thinking that. I don't think they was thinking that. You thought that up, and that's why now they're gonna really think about it now because you mentioned that.
I'm just trying to straighten folk out.
When did you realize that you had the creative talent? Oops, 69. So I said, when did you realize that you had the creative talent? For the balloons
well, for the writing, that's interesting. I've been talking to my children lately, trying to encourage them to go after things that they have talent and natural talent in doing, because I so wish that I had the confidence and courage that I have right now. Because when I was younger, I wanted to act, which I'm still gonna act. I'm still gonna act now. But when I lost my father and my writing started coming together, that's when I knew that there was something special that I had. Not bragging, because it's all from God. It's not through me. It's from God or whatever. But that's when I knew something special. Now with the balloons and stuff like that, girl, I get challenged by something. I was getting ready to have a baby shower for my my grandbaby before she came. And I was like, I'm going to get one of those. And I was like, when can I make it? So I started studying. And before you knew it, I had it. That's how I am. It's like, that's why I got all these crazy degrees. Because I'm like, I believe in me. I can do it. But, I just have always been a creative type.
Yeah. That's good though. I seen your balloons too, and they're beautiful. That's why I was like really shocked when I seen them. I'm like, okay, so she's trying her hand at something new. That is awesome. Anytime you try your hand at something new, it's so important. It's so awesome to try. I mean, you got to give yourself a chance with stuff. You can't just expect it just to not some gonna jump into your lap because you want it. You gotta try. You gotta try different things in order for things to happen for you.
That's right.
And I thought that was so cool when I seen your your posts and stuff. I seen everything up there. I was like, oh wow, this is cool. This is really cool. But I have my book here, you guys, and it's let me tell you about those other fools. That's the name of the book. This is a cool little book too.
I have my book here.
About her
I have my book here too. I always carry these.
Oh. Yeah. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. I had told somebody that, and they was like, everywhere you go, you take your books with you. Yes, I do. Everywhere I go, I got books with me. It's so important because as an author, you should always be selling yourself, selling your books, selling who you are. Let your name get out there more and more and more and more so people will know who you are when they see you, So, like I was telling somebody about the first experience that I had where somebody seen me in a store and a lady and her daughter kept following me around the store. It scared me at first. When it first happened, it scared me because this was all new to me and stuff. And I'm in the store by myself. Normally, my husband is with me, my daughter is with me, my children, they with this particular time, I was by myself in the store. And so as I'm walking through the store, this lady and her daughter following behind me. And they constantly, the mother was pointing. She said, I know you. I said, oh, you do? I mean, not thinking. My books didn't come to mind. Nothing came to mind at the time. And so when she said it, and she told me, she said, I know you from so. And so she get the going in her purse. So now I'm about to pass out in the store because I'm like, oh, she finna shoot me. This woman finna kill me. So, well, the woman pulls my book out. Little Sisters Listen Up. And I was like, what? I'm like in shock. She said, I was hoping that I would run into you someday because she said, I heard that you lived in the area somewhere. And she said, I was hoping that I would run into you. She said, and this is my day here. Can we please get you to sign this book? And I was like, oh, wow. I was in awe, but it was a good feeling, but I was nervous. And so I signed it. I signed the book. She asked me, could they take a picture, and her phone wouldn't do it, so she couldn't take the picture. But so I said, well, you can always go on my Facebook page or whatever. And so because of it, because this was all new to me, I left the store. I didn't even bother, and I came in the store more because I was so nervous. I was paranoid afterwards because of the fact that. I was hoping nobody else heard what she said, and it wasn't that. It's not that it's one of those things where you have to worry about your safety at the same time because you don't know who's listening to the conversation or who knows you, and because the first thing people think is because you got a book out, you making a lot of money. Wrong. People don't understand that when you write a book, it's a process in order to make a certain amount of money. And a lot of people don't understand that, So I was like nervous afterwards and I just left everything. And I came back later, but I came back with my husband and my daughter. So I felt much better because now I got somebody to, protect me or got my back or whatever the case may be. So, but yeah, it kind of made me nervous though. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It was the first time that had ever happened to me. Then another time it happened again. I was in a Walgreens store, and this man kept staring at me, kept talking. He said, "I know you from somewhere. I know you from somewhere." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then when he figured it out, I was already out the door in the car. I was like, he finally figured out that one of the young ladies called me and said, do you know that man stood there until he figured out where he know you from?
Oh,
and he started asking us questions about you and stuff. I said, really? She said, yes. She said he did not leave out that store until he figured out where he knew you from. And he said that he's seen you somewhere. He said you was doing an event at the library. You were speaking about your books at the library. I was like, what? Wow. She said, yes. So, like I said, it after a while, people start knowing who you are. When you get out there more and more and more, people start knowing who you are and stuff. And it's a good feeling. You stay humble. It's a very good feeling. But it's also a little, when you least expect it and it happened to you, it makes you nervous. It will make you nervous, especially if you by yourself like I was.
I didn't have that experience, but when I first, my book was first published, and I ordered like 3 cases of books from Amazon, and they came to my mom's house because during the pandemic, it's still the pandemic, but I mean early in the pandemic, I was strictly in my mom's house. Yeah. I was strictly in my mom's house, and so I had my books delivered there. That's where I signed all of those books and sent them out or whatever. But it was funny. So I brought, they delivered them or whatever, and they were heavy. So I was struggling or whatever because I got punk hands or whatever. And so this guy was like, "Oh my God, what is all that?" And I was excited, so I said my books or whatever. As the words were coming out of my mouth, I was like, oh man, I shouldn't have told him that. He said, you an author lady? He said, oh, you rich. I'm like, oh Lord. No, honey. No,
Yeah,
no,
and that's the
honey.
first thing people think. Yeah,
No.
that's the first thing they think. They think that because you're an author that you're rich, and no, it doesn't work quite like that. Like some people may think it do. It doesn't.
Right,
It's a
right.
process. It takes time. It takes a lot of work.
Right, right.
To even see residuals from your books. It takes a lot of
Absolutely.
work, and it takes a lot of support. You know, the most important thing is support. People supporting you. That